Hi guys, welcome back to Yume Wonderland. It's me, Hare or Joker, whatever you want to call me on this channel, and we're back playing The Letter. The last time we were playing as Isabella, and we went up to the attic to catch up with Rose, and that didn't happen. Their departure brings with it a stillness to keep me company, neither welcoming nor comforting. Alone like this, it's impossible not to think of what really happened. I wish the memory isn't as elusive as it normally is. Then again, Rose already said she didn't receive any call from me. Is it just paranoia? A temporary lapse after having heard all those tales about this place? Probably. I want to think of it as such. Better to think of it as such, so I can work in peace. Except a small part of my mind begs to differ. And if I am going to be completely honest with myself, I want nothing more than to leave this place as soon as possible. I don't know what's in this house, and I don't want to know. The keys Rose have just handed to me dig into my palm, its jagged edges creating shallow ridges on my skin from how hard I'm clutching it. It's a reminder of what I still need to do and why I've taken this job in the first place. Hugging my blazer closer to my body, I exit the house to get what Rose has asked of me. Just a few more hours, Isabella. Sell the house, get the money. I don't remember that! I don't remember that. A flock of people have already gathered in the mansion's front yard by the time we officially open the doors. I'm not sure whether I should feel baffled or underdressed, standing in their presence. Men and women of wealth and status, all dressed to the nines in fancy suits and lovely dresses of varying colors, compose the medium-sized crowd. Their necks, arms, and fingers are adorned with silver and gold, glinting in the afternoon sun. Some even have ridiculously fancy feathered hats on their head. Oh my god. I really hope there aren't any magpies living nearby like in the stories. Those birds will have a field day on this. They're murmuring among themselves, looking at the estate's facade appraisingly, with some arguing about whose mansion has the superior architecture. Obviously this one. Your mansions don't compare. Shut up. But most of it stops as Rose calls for their attention. They don't look too pleased at being ordered around, but what can they do about it?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Rose Cooper, and this is my partner, Isabella Santos. We'll be taking a tour of the mansion in 2 groups. Please make sure you filled up our sign-in forms before joining a specific group.
Those who want to look around the first floor, please follow my partner. I'll be guiding the ones who wish to see the ground floor.
Oh, that's so weird. Oh my god, I guess it's because it's like different cultures and stuff with first floor, ground floor, second floor kind of thing. I'd be like, please follow my partner if you want to see the second floor, because first, it's so weird to me. Americans don't make sense, I'm sorry. Hearing this, a few wander to me. They're mostly old ladies who seem daunted at the idea of climbing all those stairs. I'm in that group of old ladies. Miss McCall also joins our group. But what really catches my eye is the elegantly dressed pair as she approaches.
It's so nice to finally meet you! When Chief Inspector Lee mentioned that a famous interior designer is in town, I knew I had to get you!
Your confidence in my skills is very flattering, ma'am.
I'm sure you won't disappoint, Marianne.
Okay.
Oh, you know each other?
Not at all, ma'am.
You mentioned something about a Marianne on our way here, darling?
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, yes, I think I did.
I might have seen their faces somewhere before. Some magazine? Or the television? I can't quite remember. But then again, most of our guests have likely ended up on the news, one way or another. I won't be surprised if these two already have. For people who are popular, though, they aren't dressed as loudly as the others, and in their simplicity, the couple stands out. The woman, in particular, is stunning enough to turn the heads of most people in my group, especially the men with wandering eyes. The guy standing beside her doesn't seem to mind, though. If I'm going to be a bit bolder with my assumptions, I'd say he's basking in the attention. Excuse me. Both of them, in fact. I'd think they are brother and sister if it wasn't for their public display of affection. The matching rings on their finger just cement the fact that they are indeed a couple. Whatever. Couple or not, what's most important is we get the deal closed, before the current owners can even think of canceling the listing. I just hope one of the people in mine or Rose's group is brave and generous enough to buy this mansion. And so, with papers in hand, I lead the way. The place was just really all bloody and everything, and when they aren't whispering among themselves, or going ooh and ah over one thing or another, they ask questions. From how the restoration process went to the history of the place, I answer them all. More than happy to talk about the art pieces and architecture, mostly. However, I'm careful not to mention anything about the urban legend. Not a good material for sales talk, even if the entire population of Luxborn knows about it.
Some of the furnishings here are actually the 17th century originals, all of which have undergone a painstaking restoration process just to return its original beauty.
Yeah, can you imagine if she's like, by the way, there's some people died here, and there's rumors about ghosts. Wanna buy?
Even the glass thing. Colorful ones. Oh, I don't know, but you get the idea, I hope. Especially that one, ma'am. It is said to be a gift commissioned by the fiancé of Lady Charlotte Ermengarde.
Stained glass?
The mansion's current owners have specifically requested that the restoration crew take great care in handling it. It's a priceless work of art and the most distinctive feature of the mansion.
By the time I've stopped talking, her attention is already elsewhere.
Isn't this place wonderful, darling? I told you it's not a total waste of your time.
I don't know. Isn't it a bit too small? We might have to break a wall down to have more room.
Small.
Well, I think it is just right. Don't you think so, Marianne?
It is splendid, Mom.
Story updated. What? What's updated? Okay. Branching tree was... Cool! So I'm here. Commenter, question. Okay. Oh, if I did that. But I guess I just skipped that. Is that like death right there? I skipped death by praying, guys! Pray! Pray!
But isn't it a little too early to make plans when no deal has been signed yet?
Never mind that. It isn't going to be a problem. We've got a wonderful legal team to handle everything. Start taking notes, though. I think I've got a few things I want changed before we move in.
Oh. The rest of their conversation gets lost in the chatter of our companions. I don't want to make any assumptions yet. Their sheer interest is enough to give me some semblance of hope. Oh, please, please, please let these guys be the one. Eventually our group reaches the kitchen. Much like the rest of the house, a great deal of effort has been put in retaining the room's classical appeal. The open earth at the end of the room, in particular, looks amazing, like the ones I've only seen in fairy tale books. And mad props to the cleaning crew. Seriously! After overhearing hundreds of their complaints about the soot and the tar staining the bricks, and how much of a pain in the arse they'll be cleaning this up. That's what it says, yes. They still managed to pull this off. Or make it look presentable, at least.
The highlight of the room, however, is what's underneath this hatch here.
Oh, don't say anything yet. An underground wine cellar.
Mr. in Grey. Okay. This is the first time the guy in gray speaks up. Mr. Luke Wright, my memory supplies, from the forms they signed earlier. His centered attentiveness catches me off guard. Since the start of the tour, only his wife has shown any form of genuine interest in the place. But this time, something lights up in his eyes at the mention of the Undercroft. What's so interesting about a basement? I really don't understand rich people sometimes. Me neither. I really don't. Right now, he just gives me the impression of a child who has seen what he absolutely wants for Christmas. I've always found it cute whenever I see children act that way, my younger siblings especially. On a grown man, it's almost funny.
Yes, sir. It could house around 7,000 to 11,000 bottles of wine.
Oh crap. Your liver will die. I will just say that. It will die. You will have no liver.
Truly. And the room, how was it built?
The bricks that were used to build the cellar had been carefully picked for the purpose of maintaining and preserving a constant temperature and humidity in the room. It's a good place to keep your private collection in if you have one, sir.
It keeps the corks in good condition.
Oh, love. Didn't you say before that you wanted to make your own personal vineyard? Perhaps you could start one here.
She's like standing like this.
You know we're going to need space for that, darling.
And this isn't big enough?
If it's space you're worried about, sir, the Ermengarde mansion sits on a 46-acre lot. There's plenty of room for it. We were told that the original owners had a horse stable built here before, too.
There's a contemplative expression on Mr. Wright's face, but he doesn't say anything further. His wife, however, seems really pleased that he started to show an interest, if only a little. I smiled to myself. I may not completely understand how these people's minds work, but I sure as hell know how to spot a buyer with sincere interest. Score! I can't wait to tell Rose. The rest of the tour goes by without a hitch. After more than half an hour, we're able to cover almost every room in the ground floor and are heading to the parlor. Funny, the first time BRC had us survey the property, I kept complaining to Rose how big it is. Now I can't even bring myself to care, no matter how much my feet hurt. Maybe this is just my excitement over a possible sale? Look backwards. It sounds like it's being played backwards, or maybe I'm just like in denial and I'm just like I don't want to spend the time actually trying to figure out how this is being said. When we reach the parlor, however, an odd feeling washes over me. It starts off with small goosebumps on my skin, a feeling of being watched intently. Whispers in my... Okay, that was help me there. Whispers in my ear and shadows dancing, lurking in the corner of my vision. Where? I don't see it. Is there gonna be a jump scare? I forget. I don't really remember the beginning. Dark silhouettes that are gone when I turn to look. A chill settles down my spine, making me feel sick. I start to break out in a cold sweat. I can't do this. I need to sit down for a moment. The old ladies in the group have been requesting for a break anyway. If I can just...
Excuse me? Everyone? We will be taking a 15-minute rest here before we visit the first floor. In the meantime, please help yourselves to the refreshments and snacks we've prepared. If anyone has any questions, feel free to approach me. I'd be happy to help you.
I let them sit while I retreat to a quiet corner to recover. It's not what you think. Don't think about it. It's not what you think. I probably just caught Becca's cold. Don't think about it. I'm left alone for a good while, the same words spilling out of my lips in silent prayer, until a hand taps my shoulder.
Hello, you there?
Yes, ma'am?
Oh, look at you. Having to show a group around a mansion this big must be exhausting.
Yes! That's why we're taking a 15-minute break.
Not a problem, ma'am. I'm just doing my job.
What a hard worker. Anyway, Isabel, right?
Wrong!
Isabella, actually. But yes, what can I help you with, ma'am, right?
Please, just Hana. Call me Hana. I just wanted to ask, how soon are we able to move in?
My brain completely stops. The sick feeling plaguing me is suddenly gone, replaced by utter bewilderment. Is this a joke? She looks at me expectantly as I struggle to come up with an answer.
Wait, ma'am, you see... But we haven't even negotiated a price yet, ma'am. We haven't even finished touring the rest of the mansion. A sale would be great and all, but...
She stops me from speaking any further and puts a hand on my shoulder. Look at her eyes. She's like, what? For a moment, with her tight smile, she looks as if she's tasted a particularly sour lemon.
Oh, please, sweetie, don't insult me. Money is not a problem. And, just between you and me, this place is better off with us than with some old lady who'll probably just fill it up with cats.
I hate to say that, but that's probably true.
I personally don't think there's anything wrong with having cats here, ma'am Hana. I'm sure there's more than enough space here if you want pets.
Perhaps I'm still not feeling well. But really, what's wrong with cats? That's your biggest concern. What's wrong with having cats, guys? There's no problem in having cats. It's just cats. Cats. More importantly, why is she talking about moving in already?
Well, I'm more of a dog person.
Well, then fill it with dogs.
But you see, this is going to be a gift to my darling. It's going to be our anniversary soon. And it would be so wonderful if you can secure its purchase for us. Why, I can even offer something extra if you help us out with the paperwork.
We actually have a process for this, ma'am. I don't really think that would be necessary or appropriate.
And just what are you two lovely ladies talking about here? Leaving me and our lovely interior designer to talk here by ourselves. What would the people think, darling?
Oh, it's just small talk, love. I was asking if she could help me with the paperwork.
Can't help but send an imploring look at Miss McCullough, who only gives me an apologetic smile and a shrug.
Yeah, I can give you a fact sheet and a form to fill out.
She wastes no time in taking the papers from my hand and shuffles through the bunch. Oh man, Rose is going to be so angry at me for letting her do that.
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
And Marianne, I'd really love to talk to you about those changes. You took some notes earlier, yes?
I did, Mom. But I really hope that this time...
Excellent. Hopefully you can help us out too, Isabel.
Isabella.
Right. It's a lovely name, Isabel.
At least get on aim, right?
It's Isabella.
Yes, that's great. We'll be more than happy to put in a good word to your superiors too, and... What's this?
Deepest horror prop. Good. A look of confusion and disgust appear on her face. Turning to her husband, he merely shrugs in reply.
That's, an interesting work of art. Not to my taste, though. I'm sorry.
Darling, Buttercup, art is a complete overstatement for this garbage. It looks like a cheap prop from a D-list horror film.
Shush, love. Let the girl do what she pleases with, what do they call this? Oh, forget about it. At the very least, it's not as dreadful as the one art exhibit I was forced to attend last month. You should have seen it, Marianne. Even you would have been appalled. But I'm sure you'll know what to do with our walls once we get started.
I highly doubt it is as bad as you say, Ma'am. Nevertheless, you can be assured that my team will only pick whatever suits your tastes. Nothing of this chain letter sort, of course. It has to always work with a palette.
I'm quite sure chain letters these days don't come in this form.
It's my turn to be puzzled. What do they mean? Rose and I double-checked everything. Are the papers I handed not enough? Girl! It's obvious! I had to ask what I did wrong. I don't want to mess this up. But with the way Mom Hannah's leading the conversation, I'm afraid that's exactly what will happen if I do interrupt her.
That's good to hear. See, darling, isn't she an absolute delight to work with? I can't wait to see how this place will look when she's done with it.
Oh, you don't have to tell me that, Buttercup.
Smile is back on her face when she turns to me and hands me a strange piece of paper.
I would still put it away if I were you, though. Otherwise, people might get the wrong impression. Anyway, as I was saying...
I don't hear the rest of what she says after that. I can only stare down at the paper, at the letter in my hands. The sides crinkle in my grip, and my breathing grows labored. Dread quickly fills my mind.
Isabella? Isabella? Are you alright?
No, Rose.
You're looking pale.
I want nothing more than to say no. I'm not alright. I want to leave this place. Because I remember everything as clear as day. This letter. Those blood-soaked limbs in the attic. Because I didn't look up at her. It's real.
The letter. I'm sorry. I didn't know.
Careless. I've been so careless. How do I even tell them that without looking like I've gone mad? Should I even tell them? Why would we show it to Rose? Like, what's the point in doing that?
Rose,
Marianne. What? The words are stuck in my throat. I want to tell her. I really do. Is she going to believe me? She already dismissed me earlier. It's a concussion, she said. It's not. There really is something in this house, in that attic, in that letter. It's going to go after us. Please, believe me.
Dear me, is Isabella alright?
No. Mom Hannah's voice breaks through the haze, beginning to cloud my mind. Rose is looking down on me, worried etched on her features. I didn't even notice when she removed the wrinkled paper from my hands and pushed me down to sit on a nearby chair. From the edge of my vision, I can also make out Miss McCullough for asking a passing food server for a glass of water. Through it all, Mr. Wright stands in the sidelines. Although curious, he appears more inclined to watch the scene than help. Thanks, Luke! They are all as likely to believe me as Rose does. To everyone, whatever's in this house is just a hoax. A cautionary tale for children.
Isabella, do you need me to call that ambulance?
No. She offers me a drink, but I push it away. I need to get out of here before I cause an even bigger commotion. Clear my head, take a breath of fresh air. Anything to take my mind off of things. No one's gonna believe me anyway.
No. I'm just feeling a bit out of it. Excuse me. I'll be back. I just need to catch my breath.
Bowing my head, I mutter a quick apology and gather my stuff to make a quick exit. It doesn't matter if this place is haunted or not. I've caused trouble, and Rose can be quite unforgiving of behavior like this. I'm almost at the door when she catches up to me.
Isabella, wait!
The apprehension must have been quite obvious on my face, because her expression instantly shifts to something gentler. Eyes softer, a fond smile spreading on her lips.
Hey, I'm not angry.
I know. I'm sorry I ruined this for you.
Come on, you didn't ruin anything. It's not like we haven't ran into any problems before. If we don't get a deal today, we can always try on a different day. and look.
She hesitates, completely trailing off before shifting her gaze down to her hands, a small gesture to stall. Her fingers are fiddling with a piece of folded paper. It's that stupid letter again. My hand stiffens when she gives it back, but I take it nevertheless. More as an automatic response than any desire to have it back. I'll throw it away if I can. I have this nagging feeling that one way or another, it'll find its way back to me regardless of what I do about it.
Rose, you have to let them know about...
I know you want us to get this sale so badly, and we've made a lot of plans on how to go about this. I mean, who wouldn't? This is the first time I've been assigned to a property like this. I've sold plenty of houses before, but nothing like what we have here. It's a beautiful house. I'd love to get one of my own if I ever win the lottery. But I think... Look, here's the thing, Isabella. If we are going to do this, work on something, I don't know, this big, I need you in top shape. And the way you are now...
What? Wait, no, I can still work. I just need to get myself together.
That's what you said earlier. I let it go because I thought, hey, it's your own body and you should know more than anyone how you feel. But after this, I really think you should take a break.
You're kicking me out?
No, I'm not. Look, all I'm asking is for you to take a seat somewhere I can see you, and let me handle this for now. You're clearly not yourself, and I honestly could use some time not worrying when you'll fall over or not. The day's not even over, and I'm already feeling the stress. Please, humor me just this once.
She clasps her hands together in front of her, eyes pleading for understanding. And I do understand. To some extent. That doesn't mean I'll feel any less awful. Whether at myself at the unlucky turn the situation has taken, or for her, I don't really know.
I promise I'll give you a full report of what happens after. I'll even let you take the lead tomorrow.
Fine. Okay. I'll step aside for now.
You're upset.
A little, yeah, obviously.
If it's any consolation, I won't tell the boss about today. You know how he is.
Please don't. I don't want a repeat of the lecture I got during my first assignment. He called me a noob, and I don't even know what that means.
At the memory, we both burst into helpless giggles, earning us strange looks from the guests milling about the door. Talking and laughing like this, it's easy to forget any mishaps that happened. Little things you learn to appreciate, I guess.
So, are we good?
I'm still not okay with it, but Rose has a point. It's better for me to step out of this one for now.
I won't be able to help you anyways if I keep getting distracted like this. Maybe I'll just take a walk outside or something while I wait for you to wrap things up.
Please, just stay put. I insist.
I'm not an invalid, Rose.
You clearly have not seen how you looked earlier.
It's not that bad.
Color hasn't even returned to your cheeks yet. Just stay here, all right? Don't even think of going anywhere. Let me finish what I'm doing here, and then I'll take you back to Luxembourg myself to have that minor bump checked. At least wait for me to call someone who will fetch you, okay?
She's gone before I can voice one word of complaint. Left with nothing else to do, I find myself drifting back to the foyer. A few visitors linger in the area, some merely enjoying the afternoon sunlight streaming through the stained glass windows. Others can be seen admiring the priceless antiques decorating the room. One group of elderlies, gathered some ways across from me, is occupied in friendly banter about which one would cost more to buy. Little argument here and occasional laughter there, teasing there. Yeah, I can read. I smile to myself. The conversation reminds me of what I've been missing these past few months. Rose is probably right. I do need a break. Maybe this afternoon's hangout will help? Speaking of, I should call Ash. It's a few hours early from what I've told him, but he did ask for a call once I'm done. Besides, I don't have a ride back. He offered, so I might as well take it. Or bribe him into giving me one. Not that he'll ever accept the latter. Personal convictions and all. Honestly, if there's something I find admirable in him, despite his tendency to annoy the hell out of me, it's that. Well, whatever way works. Free ride, still free ride! There's Rose's offer too, but despite what she says, I know she'll be busy for the rest of the afternoon. Especially without me assisting. Bothering her for a small favor as this is the last thing I want to do right now. A couple of minutes and a few prayers asking for a decent signal later, the call finally connects, and...
Shit! Sup, I'm Ash from Deluxe City. Baggers, watch out, can't beat me. Looking for trouble? Better not.
What the crap?
Cool dude, pretty fly for an Asian guy. Sup, I'm Ash from Deluxe City. Baggers, watch out,
This is great.
can't beat me. Looking for trouble?
Great.
Better not lie. I'm a cool dude, pretty fly for an Asian guy. Sup, I'm Ash from Deluxe City. Baggers, watch out, can't beat me. Looking for trouble? Better not lie. I'm a cool dude, pretty fly for an Asian guy.
What the crap?
Ash from Deluxe
I actually listen to it now and it's
beat me. Looking
what?
for trouble?
Shit, how loud is this thing even?
I'm a cool dude, pretty fly for an Asian guy. Sup, I'm
A
Ash
sharp
from Deluxe
ringing
City.
fills the entire
Baggers,
hall,
watch out,
disrupting the
can't
pleasant
beat me.
quiet that is
Looking for
settled.
trouble?
Soon
Better
enough,
not
heads
lie.
begin to turn
I'm a
in search
cool
for the
dude, pretty
source,
fly
mine
for an Asian
included.
guy. Sup, I'm Ash from Deluxe
My eyes start
City.
around the
Baggers,
small crowd
watch
before
out,
zeroing in
can't
on a
beat
lone
me.
figure
Looking
crouched
for
behind the
trouble?
same group
Better
of people
not lie.
checking out their
I'm a cool
decors
dude,
moments
pretty
ago.
fly for an Asian guy.
He's facing away from me,
Sup, I'm
fumbling with
Ash from
something in his
Deluxe
hands.
City. Baggers, watch
But I
out,
don't need to see
can't
his face
beat
to know
me.
whose back
Looking
it
for
is.
trouble? Better not
Oh, I'd
lie.
recognize that
I'm a cool
dumb
dude,
parka
pretty fly for an
anywhere.
Asian guy.
Without
Sup,
bothering to
I'm
end the
Ash
call,
from
I marched
Deluxe
toward him.
City. Pretty
After what
fly
happened
for an
today,
Asian
I'm
guy.
really not in the mood to
Sup,
deal with
I'm
this.
Ash from Deluxe
Of all the
City.
times to...
Baggers, watch out. Can't
Ashton Frey!
Sorry, dude.
Ah!
What the crap was that? Yeah! He jumps, lets out an undignified yelp, followed by his phone slipping from his grip. It bounces from one hand to the other in his poor attempt to catch it, before ultimately falling flat on the ground with a resounding clack. Kind of feel sorry for the phone. And the floor. But it's not every day that you can catch someone like Ash off guard and get a reaction. Damn, his stupid detective senses. I'll take every ounce of victory I can get, no matter how small. Ha! An awkward pause passes between us. Yeah, what you doing, Ash? He makes a face. And in a too-quick motion, he ducks and retrieves his abused gadget while a grin threatens to break out from my lips. That's already on my face, girl! He doesn't meet my eyes when he straightens, but a flush has crept up his neck and cheeks. In another universe, where we haven't known each other for 5 years and suffering through his teasing isn't a day-to-day occurrence, chances are I'd find that adorable. Endearing, even. Unfortunately, this isn't that kind of world. The way things are, I'm already content to see him out of his normally collected disposition.
Hello to you too, Scaredy Cat. I could stand to be greeted like a normal person, you know.
Why would we do that?
What? And miss that look on your face? No way! Oh man, I should have taken a picture.
I am so honored you find this funny.
Yeah!
Is that how you treat your guests? I think I need to talk to your supervisor.
Wow.
Talk to yourself. You aren't even a guest here. What are you doing here in the first place?
For a moment, he looks like a cat that swallowed the canary. Suddenly checking every nook and cranny in his phone for any damage or scratches seems to be a more interesting activity than explaining himself.
Ash?
I could be looking to buy a house.
Yeah, right.
A mansion?
Yeah, why not? Did you see the view outside? It doesn't look haunted to me at all.
He's messing with me.
Ashton, I am not in the mood. What are you doing here?
He chances a glimpse at some point behind me. The parlor? Curious, I follow his gaze, but before I can figure out what has caught his attention, he places a hand on my shoulder and turns me back to face him.
I just finished working on something, so I dropped by.
I still don't see how his work has anything to do with why he's here. My confused look, he drops the hand resting on my arm like he's touched something particularly hot and casually rubs the back of his neck. He totally likes us.
And I said I'll see if I can pick you up. Turns out I can. Free time and all.
Oh, Ash, you're totally in love with us, aren't you?
So here I am. Figured you'd still be busy, and so I roamed around for a while.
Oh, you should have mentioned that sooner. I was about to throw you out.
Throw me? Hey, I was given a pamphlet. I think that makes me a legitimate client.
Yep.
We have mandatory sign-in sheets for clients, Ash. I didn't see your name on it. And you can't just roam around because it says open house. Normal people actually follow an etiquette here.
Really? About that. Usually if I see a sign saying open house, I go in it and then I, roam around. I mean, there were, a couple times when I, went with my dad, and there's, a sign-in sheet thing, and we'd have to, usually we'd put some random name, Bob Jones down. That's who's touring the house today, Bob Jones.
Right, okay. I think I'll just go ahead and...
No, wait. I wasn't really going to throw you out. Rose said... Never mind. I was just about to leave anyway.
Wait, what? Now?
Yes. Something must have shown in my face because he pauses and gives me a long, hard stare. Sometimes I forget how easy reading people is for Ash, given how he often looks as if everything around him is a chore. I avoid his eyes, hoping he'll drop the subject and won't risk any more questions. The last thing I want is him to tell me what happened, especially the part about the letter. In fact, he's the last person on Earth I'll ever think about telling it to, if I can help it. Sure, he's a dependable guy. God knows how many times he's helped me, even without me asking for it. With stuff like ghosts and the supernatural, he'll never believe this, even if he hears it from a friend. Except maybe if it's Becca. On a good day, the most harmless thing he'll do is give you an explanation why those things have no chance of ever being real. At worst, he's insufferable. He'll poke fun at you every single chance he'll get. Ashhole. What'd I ever do to him? He never does that to Becca or Zach. It's because he likes you. I can already imagine how things will go down the moment I spill a word of what I saw. Nope, over my... That's a very interesting phrase right there. But I'm not going that way, so it's all good. I'll make sure Isabella's alive. Before it catches his attention, I shove the letter deep into my bag.
What's wrong?
Nothing. Well, let's just go.
Doesn't look like a nothing to me.
We still have Zach's movie tonight, remember?
It's still early. And didn't you say your shift will end around 5 or 6? What about... Hey, Isabella, wait up!
A rush of air greets me as soon as the main door opens. Not the usual autumn draft, but it's still a welcoming change from the stifling atmosphere inside the mansion. Ash's footsteps are quick behind me, the soles of his shoes thumping hard against the polished concrete in an awkward cadence as he rushes to catch up. He calls out once, twice. The mansion still looms in the background. Whispers calling me back, shadows beckoning. I don't look back. If you did, I would, scold you, girl, what are you doing? They spend the ride back to Lexington City in a relatively quiet manner, with only the radio's disjointed hum in the background to fill the silence, and the horns of other people who are rude and obnoxious in the background, too. Occasionally, Ash will reach out to fiddle with it until the signal settles, or it's on a respectable volume, but otherwise, she doesn't say anything. Neither do I. However, the furtive glances he's been sending my way are signs. I know there are things he's been itching to ask since we left the mansion. I keep my eyes trained on the passing scenery outside, in the small hope that my disinterest will dissuade him.
Here.
All of a sudden, he tosses something at me from a small compartment on his side. It hits me cleanly on the chin before I can make a move to catch it. The small package makes a soft landing on my lap instead.
Sorry.
Sorry! The glare I send him wipes a smirk about to form cleanly off his face, clears his throat, focusing his eyes on the road again. I swear he did that on purpose. Ignoring him, I flip the half-forgotten package on my lap.
I won't say no to free food, but why are you giving away cereal bars?
Yang's energy bar, chocolate cereal.
I always have one on my person, and you look like you're about to pass out back there. Have you eaten lunch yet?
Of course! I don't even get a chance to deny it because right on cue my stomach grumbles loudly and an empty, gnawing feeling in my belly becomes noticeable. No surprise there. I did skip breakfast and lunch so I could catch Becca while she was on break. I was hoping to get a small meal after. I guess with everything going on, I just forgot until Ash mentioned it. It's not like the hollow feeling's new to me, though. If anything, it's just one of the things I've gotten used to ignoring over the years growing up. Thanks, then I tear open the package and start nibbling on the edge of the bar. Apart from an acknowledging nod, Ash doesn't say anything after this pause. And I exchange. For that, I'm thankful. After getting an earful from both Rebecca and Rose, it's nice to be able to just sit down with someone who's not going to nag at you.
How'd the open house go?
The usual. We got a bigger crowd than normal because of the property's fame, but really no different from the typical open house. On second thought, it actually looks like a fancy party more than an open house. I've never felt so underdressed in my life. Weren't you there?
I wasn't really listening.
I should have asked someone to kick you out.
No, you won't.
And what makes you so sure?
One, ever since you got assigned to this property, you've been freaking out about it. Rebecca's words, not mine. She's been complaining to me about how you talked your ears off, by the way. Two, despite your initial qualms about the place, you still took the job. Which brings us to three. It's been months since you last settled a deal, and you're short on money right now since you're back to your instant noodle diet.
How do you even know about the last one?
Rebecca. Anyhow, you're hell-bent on selling the mansion. Even if someone you know personally is in the tour group, you aren't going to just kick them out. Every single person who went on your open house is still a prospective client to you. Even me.
Are you sure about that? I would still be like, no, I know, you're not gonna get this place with the hell. She's not entirely wrong. Oh man, I walked right into that one, didn't I?
I hate you. I really hate you right now.
His answer is a small laugh, the kind that screams, I'm right, I told you so. I hate it when he does that.
I'll have you know that there's already someone who's extremely interested in this property. So even if you expressed any sort of interest in it, I don't think they'd be willing to let you have it. Too bad.
Provided I didn't botch it with the rights. I have all times that I had to screw up like that. In front of an important customer, no less. I owe Rose a big apology. I hope she likes free donuts.
You don't seem too happy about it.
I am happy. Doesn't this look like a happy face to you?
Really? And here I was thinking you found another one stuffed in the sofa.
Yes.
Or is it the wardrobe this time?
You meant that as a joke, but how close it is to the truth made my blood run cold and my own heartbeat a heavy weight in my chest. All at once, the letter in my bag feels a whole lot heavier, burdened by my own guilt and apprehension.
Yeah, well, things happened. Stuff the right couple might not be pleased about. No need to make a fuss about it. It's normal in the business.
You made them angry?
Not angry, just stuff happened.
Like?
Things.
Did they do anything? Your clients, the rights, was it?
What gets my affection higher? Okay, let's see our relationship. Ashen's way down here. He's just like dead in the center. Okay. Changing the subject make it better or not? Oh god, I don't remember. I don't know.
You keep asking me about my work, yet you haven't said a single word about yours.
It went up. Yes, I know how to go around this.
That's not fair. Both you and Zach have literally disappeared off the face of the earth.
An over-exaggeration, but changing the subject to something else is better than outright lying to him. Besides, it never works with him. I'm not sure if it's because I'm just bad at it, or because he's just really very good at his job. He doesn't answer immediately, only momentarily shifting a glance over me and returning it back to the road when he has to make a sharp turn. Outside, the sun has already started its descent, casting a vibrant orange glow on the tall buildings. I wonder how long before we reach the venue for Zach's film. Checking the street signs outside, it appears Ash has taken the longer route. Odd, but he's probably trying to avoid the rush hour traffic.
Didn't we just talk a week ago over chat?
That's different. Linking your awful memes in the group chat box every morning isn't exactly a conversation.
Excuse me, I don't hear you calling them awful while you're laughing at all of them.
Shut up! And you aren't answering my question.
That earns him a soft punch to his arm. I did laugh at them, but I'm not going to give him the satisfaction of knowing that I found most of them funny. It'll only make his head bigger. Stupid Ash.
Alright. Lay off on the abuse. Remember that case I mentioned before? We've been trying to pin the bastard down, but it required more work than we anticipated. The guy's slippery like that. We got some good lead months ago.
He recounts what he's been doing in the time we haven't seen each other. His usual work, the occasional small investigation, and the big case he's been stuck working on. Stuff he couldn't mention in the brief time we catch each other online. Although most of it are the trimmed down version, only things he can tell. He has always been careful about that. Even the way he spins his answers to my questions, just enough to satisfy my curiosity, but not enough to paint the whole picture. At one point his voice takes on a strained tone when he mentions something about the big case, but I don't dwell on it much. That's normal, right? I mean, who wouldn't be frustrated if you couldn't bring someone to justice because they kept slipping out of your fingers? If I were in his shoes, I'd definitely lose my mind. His stories never ceases to be entertaining to me, regardless. If things weren't the way they were back home, maybe I wouldn't have considered taking on the same job as him. Well, nope. Not really. Mama would never allow that. But the idea's still there, along with the countless others I've let go. Time passes quickly between us in this manner, and before I know it, we're already at the movie house. A small crowd has already formed in front of the theater when we arrive. Wanted poster. That's my face right there on the wanted poster. The Lift Fest, short for Luxborn Independent Film and Theater Festival, attracts a bigger crowd annually, and this year's no different. I've only been to a few indie film screenings with Zach, so I'm not an expert on the matter. But I know that for people hoping to make a break in the industry, getting your film recognized by a local event like this is already a big deal. Especially for a newcomer like Zach. He hasn't even won an award, but just getting a confirmation letter that the festival committee wants to include his movie in this year's lineup already put a grin on his face for weeks. Speaking of the guy, he's impossible to miss. At 6 feet, he appears to loom over most of the moviegoers. With his large build and heavy voice, there's no surprise when people give him a wide berth as they pass. It's often easy to mistake him for someone intimidating at first glance. I did back then when I didn't know any better. Ash did too, I heard, once early in their friendship.
Oh, there's Zach!
Hi, Zach!
Hey, you guys! Long time no see!
Oh, he sounds so awesome. He sounds like he should this. Oh, he's so awesome. Zach's face lights up with a smile of his own. He moves towards us with careful steps, taking a significant effort to make himself smaller, so as not to bump or accidentally hit anyone. Typical Zach. As he nears, Ash casually urges his hand in greeting Ash.
Sup, Z-Man, my main man. What's crack-a-lackin', my homie?
He's just like, what the hell, dude? His face. Like, why? The awkwardness that descends within the immediate vicinity of our small group is palatable enough. Somewhere to our left, a girl giggles, and then only do I become aware of my mouth hanging open. I'm almost amazed how Ash can say that out loud with a straight face. Almost. Considering his track record, I should be used to it by now. Zach seems to be.
Don't stop trying to act black, Ashton. And you're the only one who calls me Z-Man.
He called him out for it. There's a fondness underneath his exasperated tone. If this were any other person, he'd likely be offended. But years of friendship and familiarity have made those words harmless to me all these years. Or at least enough for both to take it in stride.
It's been a while, Zach.
I hope you didn't get into trouble again.
Not much to get into trouble lately without you, I'm afraid. I'll let you know if something comes up, though.
Nah, I ended up with chicken down stuck on me last time I agreed. I'd really love at least this year to pass without some sort of accident happening again.
Hey, I take offense to that. It wasn't that bad.
You really have no idea.
A beat passes. And then Zach laughs.
Hey, I'm kidding! You know you can always count on me.
This story, only the two of them are privy to. Every now and then, Ash will enlist Zach's help on something. Buck and I never really found out what the real deal with those adventures, as Ash calls it, and both aren't willing to tell due to some unspoken agreement. She insists that if it's Ash, it's likely not something illegal or life-threatening. I tend to believe her on that. Sometimes. Oh well. Boys will be boys, I guess. I give Zach a small wave from behind Ash when his attention eventually turns to me.
Bella! Huh? Rebecca's not with you. Is she still sick?
A bit. But she's up and went to work this morning. You know she doesn't listen to anyone that's not Ash.
Yes, she does.
No, she doesn't. You're literally the only person she'll listen to when she's feeling stubborn.
Awkward. So, oh, it's such an awkward thing, because Isabella technically doesn't care. Like, whatever, right? But Ash likes her, but then her friend Becca likes him. So, like, And it's true. They've known each other far longer than any of us in the group. Childhood friends and all. And that's what makes it worse, they're childhood friends! Ugh. All my, anime experience. Childhood friends.
But don't worry, Zach. She's probably on her way here now. She promised she wouldn't miss your movie. Isabella! Oh, thank goodness!
Speak of the devil. Without warning, a hand grabs me by the shoulder and turns me around.
Becca! You're just in time!
To lean back a little way, with the way her face is almost invading my personal space, but she places her hand on either side of my head to keep me still. She stares at me intently, concern filling her eyes.
Becca, you're squishing my face. How are you? Are you alright? Why wouldn't I be? Rose called me earlier.
Those four words tell me all I need to know. Since I don't have my family living close by and the only other relative I have works on the far side of the country, I gave my company Becca's contact number in case of emergency. I should have known Rose would call her. I push Becca's hands away from my face. Although she lets go, her eyebrows remain drawn together.
Oh, no, everything's good. Rose covered for me at work today. That's not what I'm talking about. How's your head?
Beside me, Ash snickers. I bite back the urge to elbow him in the place of trying to avoid Becca's hand as she tries to reach out for the set area. I do my best to dodge her, all at once moving to hide behind Zach. Sorry for using you as a human shield, Zach.
Oh, it's nothing. I just slipped off a few steps on my way down. I blacked out for a few seconds and had a minor bump, but it's just that. You blacked out? It's not something to brush off.
It's not. Like, honestly, if you black out, don't brush it off.
Come on, at least let me check it.
It's extremely minor. You wouldn't even know it's there.
Isabella, this isn't a laughing matter.
She did look pale when I saw her.
Wow. Thanks a lot, Ashton, you traitor. I'll get you back for this. Just you wait.
What? I'm just saying it as it is. If you mentioned this earlier, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now.
I'm sorry. Saw her?
Yeah, they arrived together. Bella looked fine to me then. I don't know.
Something crosses Becca's face, but it's gone before I can figure out what it is.
Oh, that's good. At least she didn't have to travel alone, right?
See.
At least. Good.
Good. Good for you.
See? I'm okay. I wouldn't be here if I wasn't. And I don't want to miss Zach's film.
We can always watch it some other time. Sorry, Zachary.
No, it's good. But you guys should really keep it down. We're starting to attract some attention.
It's the premiere. The premiere's different. Right, Zach?
I shoot him a pleading look. Zach's a sensible guy. He'll understand. Please understand.
Not really. But Rebecca has a point. In the end, I think it's your call.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
Please, Becca. I really don't want to miss it.
You're not missing it. Oh, we're just moving it on a different day so we can have a...
Look, you guys.
Ash's loud sigh unexpectedly cuts through the conversation. He's pinching the verge of his nose as he speaks. Something he usually does when he's getting impatient.
If she says she's okay, then there's nothing we can do about it. It's not like we can stop her either. Besides, she's still acting like the same old Isabella to me, if she can still run around like that.
Why are you taking her side?
I'm not. But if she wants to watch Zach's movie with us, I'm not going to stop her. She's probably the one looking forward to it the most.
Ash, that's... You, of all people, should know...
Tell you what, if I notice something amiss with her, I'll take her to the nearest hospital myself. Is that good enough for you?
I already know the answer before Becca voices it out. When at last she releases a deep breath and nods, albeit with great reluctance, I immediately tackle her into a hug.
Thanks, Becca.
It's always been you with him, isn't it?
Did you say something?
Me? Nothing. Don't mind me.
If you say so.
Okay, guys, showtime's close, so I think I'm gonna get us some snacks. My treat. And then let's head inside. Anyone here has a smaller bill?
I think I do. Hold on.
I pull myself off from Becca to get my wallet from my bag and...
What's this?
Oh no! It's already in Ash's hands before I can even react. Behind him, Becca and Zach are both giving the piece of paper an intrigued look.
No! Give it back!
It's just a paper.
I don't care! Give it!
Looks ancient, too. Why do you keep this around?
I try to reach for it, but he holds the paper way above his head. I've never been particularly sensitive about my own height, but right now, I really wish I had that advantage over him.
Don't open it!
What's the big deal? It's not like it's a love letter. I don't see any reason to... Hold on a second. This is, isn't it?
Doug is so full of yourself!
Even if it is, it's not for you.
Okay, now I'm curious.
I'm telling you, it's nothing like that. It's...
The rest of my words are lost when he unfolds the paper. I can't breathe. My heart feels stuck in my throat, pounding, threatening to burst out. Vaguely, I note how my hands are trembling at my sides. Clasping them together doesn't do any good. They're still shaking, but I hang on to them regardless. The awful sick weight that has taken its core in my stomach back in the open house returns full force. How do I fix this? How do I fix this? How do I fix this? Someone please. Today is turning out to be a horrible nightmare.
Send this to 5 people or else. Well, that's... interesting.
Guys, I think we should listen to Bella first.
Aren't you a few days early for Halloween?
Shut up, Ash. Ash raises the paper in front of me, giving me a fleeting glimpse of its contents. I don't need to see it. I don't want to see it. The letters, the words, every stroke written in blood. It's already embedded in my mind. Maybe I should have just thrown it away when I had the chance. That way...
It's not a prank.
It makes all of them stop. Even I am surprised with how steady my voice is.
What did you say?
This isn't a prank! I saw something!
Hold on. Are we still talking about this paper? Or is it about the urban legend again?
Both. I know it sounds ridiculous.
You're saying this is a primitive version of a chain letter, and now that we've seen it, we're now cursed. You've got to be kidding me.
See? This is why I didn't want to tell you guys.
Isabella, aren't you taking this a bit too far?
It's not a joke. Will you guys listen to me first? I saw something in the house earlier. It stood right in front of me. If I hadn't gotten away, that thing might have...
Right. And in broad daylight, Isabella. Even someone gullible would find the logic in that screwed up. There's also no way in hell that this supernatural shit is true.
But it's real! What do you think I saw?
That Sprite character, though, like... Hi!
Hallucination? A delusion? Didn't you say you fell down some stairs? So maybe Rebecca's right.
It happened after, when I was trying to get away. I almost got stuck in the same room with that thing. We're all in danger. I thought you were my friends. Why don't you believe me?
We are, and you know that. But this thing and that thing has got nothing to do with the other. When Rose called earlier, I thought she's just exaggerating. But based on what I'm seeing right now, maybe it's better if we really postpone this for now.
Don't bother.
Without another word, I snatched the letter out of Ash's hands and stuffed it back in my bag with more force than necessary. I'm tired. I got cursed, saw ghosts, probably lost a sale, got kicked out of the open house I'm supposed to be hosting, my own friends won't believe me, and all of them think I'm crazy. To top it all off, there's a dull ache at the back of my head begging for a little attention I can't afford to give right now. Honestly, there's only so much a person can take within a single day. I just want to go home, curl up in my bed, and never think about today. But before I can take a single step away from the group...
Guys!
Zach rarely ever raises his voice, even when there's a point he wants to drive home. And hearing him take on a tone completely throws me off. Even Ash and Becca. Whatever harsh words yet to come out from the argument immediately die on our tongues.
Why don't we all calm down first? I'm sure Isabella has her reasons too. No need to be hard on her. And hey, ain't this supposed to be a happy get-together? We haven't seen each other for months. I'd really love to know what y'all have been up to. I only ever get to talk to Bella over chat. Please.
He has a point. Ash, for all his attempts to look cool and distant, has also been looking forward to this. He even took the time to call this morning for a reminder. He never does that. Becca, too. I'm pretty sure that's another reason why she got out of bed today. Yet despite Zach's attempts to lighten things up, or Ash's and Becca's acquiescing gestures, the tightness in my chest remains. Should have just kept it to myself. At least went with the idea that it's a prank. If I did, things might not have turned out the way they had. No sour mood, no bad vibes. Careless. So careless. Maybe leaving is the better decision for all of us. Rebecca's here. Zach's on the line still. Ash is a little above. Okay, so a little on. Up. Oh my god, Rebecca went so down. Okay. Well, you know, I'm sorry, but Zach also worked really hard on this, Becca, so I know you're concerned about me, but honestly, any other day I'd excuse myself and go straight home. But this is something special to Zach. Something he works so hard to bring to life. I should know better. I might be having a bad day, but being with the few people I care about far outweighs the idea of spending the rest of the day throwing a tantrum alone in my room. What if the thing in the attic follows me home? I don't want to be left with my thoughts earlier. I can still see it whenever I close my eyes. And maybe, if I stay, let our heads cool down first before telling them what happened, they'll listen to me. There's nothing you can't solve with a calm head. One step at a time, Isabella. That's what Mama used to tell me. Besides, I don't have the heart to ditch Zach. The smile is back on my face when I look back at them.
If we keep arguing here, we're going to miss the first few minutes.
All right, that's the Isabella I know.
Oh, good. I thought for sure you were going to cry.
What? This time I really do send an elbow straight through his stomach, and his face turned green. Stupid Ash. Being vertically challenged has its perks too.
What was that for?
Stop calling me a crybaby! I'm not one!
Aw, don't cry.
Okay. I like how it changes for him. It goes from Ash to Ashhole and back and forth whenever we're mad at him or something.
Stop it!
Okay, scaredy cat then.
That too! If you repeat that, I swear I'll...
Let's just go.
Without another word, Becca goes inside. She doesn't even stop to wait for us when I call after her. Ash and I exchanged looks at that. The same question likely swimming inside our minds. Did something happen after school? At school after I left? Is she having a bad day too? I'll try asking her about it later, I guess.
So, you guys go catch up with her. I'll go get us the food I promised.
But you'll miss it!
Didn't you say watching a movie without food ain't fun? And it ain't like I haven't seen it. I made it, remember? I'll be in there soon.
One friend may tap on my shoulder and then he's gone. A few moviegoers are still milling about. Some are still waiting in line for tickets. But otherwise, most of the crowd are already inside. There's nothing much for us to do here now. Not a word of protest comes from me when Ash gestures the two of us to head inside.
And then?
Are you sure it wasn't one of the cleaning crews?
Absolutely sure.
Somehow, halfway through the movie, the conversation steered towards what happened in the mansion. To be fair, Zach was the one who brought it up again. And his own movie's premiere. Now the film is just serving as background noise while we're all speaking in hushed tones, careful not to disturb anyone inside the small hall. Well, except for Ash. I just hope we don't end up arguing about it again. We'd all get kicked out for sure. Though with how loud Ash's voice is, we'll probably get thrown out way before any argument happens. Only Becca still remains engrossed in the movie, completely ignoring us. She's been quiet the whole evening, speaking only when referred to. If I didn't know any better, I'd think we did something that offended her. Did we?
And then I ran. You heard what happened after.
I still think it's something else.
It was standing right in front of me, Ash.
He's one of the smartest people I know. Jeez, he should learn to listen. Plus, didn't he say he doesn't believe in these things? Why is he in this conversation again?
I heard what you said, but it's a small room. There are a lot of things someone else could have done there without your knowledge. If I could see it up close, maybe I can...
I am not going back there.
Ain't that a problem if you're hosting an open house?
Yeah, it is.
Rose does the first floor tour.
I ain't sure ghosts can be restricted to one room, Bella.
There are no ghosts, Zach. Stop putting useless ideas in her head.
Yeah, but I was thinking, maybe all the house needs is a blessing. Wasn't it left uninhabited for years?
Oh. The house did change hands over the years, from one distant relative of the Emergards to another. None of them bothered to live in it, though, and it remained that way up until its current owners decided to sell it. Why didn't I think of that?
I didn't peg you as the religious type, Zach.
Nothing like that, Ash. Who knows, though? It might bring something positive to the place.
doubt it, but praying did work the first time round.
That's not a bad idea. I just don't know where I could find someone.
You're not seriously considering his suggestion, are you?
Yes, I am, since praying seemed to work.
Do you have a better idea?
I know where. I could contact him for you if you want.
You'd do that?
Or we can find you a psychologist instead.
There are very few times in life when I wish my glowers would kill. This is one of those.
Ash, that is not a very appropriate thing to say right now.
No, wait, that's not what I meant.
Yeah, that's right, dude.
Ethnographer. I meant ethnographer. This guy's a psychologist too, of course, if you...
Ashton, if you don't stop...
He messed up. He did messed up.
Rebecca knows the guy I'm talking about too. She can vouch for him.
Becca tears her eyes away from the scream at the mention of her name.
Huh? What? Oh, are you talking about Professor Andrew? He used to work with my parents at the university. And can you guys keep it down?
Sorry, the scaredy cat here mentioned curses. Not that I'm saying this is one. But talking to him is a better solution for me than getting a random priest to bless an old house. He'll even help you figure things out, teach you a couple things, and probably put your fears to rest since this looks to be bothering you a lot.
Ash might be right too. However, what Zach suggested is something I'm more familiar with. Granted, they don't believe me. They're only giving me these suggestions to put my mind at ease. But it's better than being ignored or being laughed at. I can take comfort in knowing they are willing to hear me out.
So, what do you think?
It's your call. We'll go with whatever you want.
I don't know.
I'm gonna go with what Ash says.
I'll think about it, but if ever, I'd like to give talking to Andrew a try.
Oh, it didn't affect really at all. I wonder if Ash's would have gone down. Yeah.
Is that okay? Won't he have other things to do?
He is a bit busy, but he'll make time for me. He's my go-to person when I'm stuck in something. He won't mind if I bring a friend with me this time.
If you're sure.
I guess that settles it then.
Guys, I said keep it down. You keep insisting that we still watch it. You're not even paying attention yourselves.
It ain't a big deal, Rebecca. I'm the one who broached the subject in the first place.
It's still your film, Zachary. A good film, mind you. You worked hard on this. The least we could do is watch it with you.
And that's what you're all doing. I really appreciate all of you making time for this.
Sorry, Becca. We'll stop now.
Throw her an apologetic look, even if Ash is the only one she should be reprimanding. But her attention is already back on the screen. She's ignoring us again. When Becca's acting this way, there's a big chance something's nagging her. We really need to talk. We all fall into a comfortable silence after, the kind only you can share with people you're most at ease with. For the first time today, letter lays forgotten in my bag, if only for a few hours. Okay, I think I'm gonna end the episode here. It's been a while. So, thank you guys so much for watching. This is Hare, Yume, or Joker, whatever you want to call me on this channel, from Yume no Wonderland, playing the letter, and it's awesome! And I'm still happy I'm playing this, and I'm so happy I bought this, and I'm so excited and everything. Oh, I can't wait. Thanks guys, like, subscribe, check out our other videos, and I'll see you next time. Sweet dreams!